Okay, so now we are moving on to lesson 12.1 of Algebra 1A Credit 5. And let's go ahead and we're starting over on page, the lesson starts on 48, but we're going to actually start on page 49. All right, so problem number 1, it says Pierre found a new store where he hopes to save money on his supplies. He bought 4 brushes and 7 tubes of paint for $32. He has another order for 6 brushes and 8 tubes of paint that will cost $43. What is the cost of 1 brush? What is the cost of 1 tube of paint? All right, so notice here, they're not giving us the equation. So we dealt with word problems in the previous lesson, but they actually gave us the equations. Here we have to come up with them, but fortunately, it's not too bad. So on this one, we've got 4 brushes. We'll let X be the brushes, and 7 tubes of paint. Y will be the tubes of paint, and that costs $32. So let's make a note here that X is the cost of the brushes, and then Y is the tubes of paint. All right, so now we have another order for 6 brushes, so 6X, and then 8 tubes of paint, so 8Y, and that costs $43. All right, so let's see here. Well, let's try and eliminate the X's. We have to, they want us to give the cost of both of them so we can eliminate either variable. All right, so let's deal with the X's. So we multiply the first equation by the coefficient of X in the second equation by the coefficient of X in the first. Both of these are positive, so one of these has to become negative. We'll choose the second one. All right, so multiplying through, we have 6 times 4 is 24X. 6 times 7 is 42Y. And then 6 times 32 is 192. All right, on the second equation, negative 4 times 6 is negative 24X. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32Y. And negative 4 times 43 would be 172. Negative 172. Negative times a positive negative. There we go. All right, so adding these up, these cancel out. 42 minus 32 is 10Y. And 192 minus 72 is 20. Y is being multiplied by 10, so we divide by 10. And then we found out Y is 2. So that tells us the tubes of paint cost $2 each. Now for the brushes, we can use either equation. I'm going to use the first one. We've got 4X plus 7Y, but we know Y is 2, equals 32. So we've got a little simplifying to do first. 7 times 2 is 14. And then we focused on the left side because X is on the left. So we are going to divide by 4, but we want to get rid of this 14 first of all. So we're going to subtract 14 to both sides. And then we get 4X equals 18. X is being multiplied by 4, so we divide by 4 to both sides. And then 18 divided by 4 should be $4.50. So that tells us that the brushes cost $4.50. All right, so just real quickly, you probably can see where they go, but just to be sure, step 2 is where you put the equations. So you'll write your equations there in step 2. You're going to solve in step 3. That's the X and the Y. That's where you're going to put that. And then interpreting our solution in step 4, where it says the cost of the brushes, a brush costs $4.50 and a tube of paint costs $2. All right, let's move on to problem number 2 on the same page. All right, so on problem number 2, it says on Friday, the Lee family had dinner at a restaurant. They ordered 12 cheeseburgers and 4 chili bowls for $19.40. So let's go ahead and put that up. 12 cheeseburgers. So we'll let X be the cost of the cheeseburgers, and then Y the cost of the chili bowls. So 12X plus 4Y, and the total bill was $19.40. So let's make a note over here that X is the cost of the cheeseburgers, and then Y is the chili bowls. Okay, so it says the following Friday, the Lee family went back to the same restaurant. They ordered 8 cheeseburgers, so 8x, and then 6 chili bowls, so plus 6y, and the cost was $16.60. Now, whoops, I'm not ready to add them yet. It says, how much does a cheeseburger cost? So if we're only want to know the cost of the cheeseburger, that's X, so we definitely want to cancel Y. We want the Y's to cancel out. So remember how we do that? So we're going to multiply the first equation by the coefficient of Y in the second equation by the coefficient of Y in the first. These are both positive, so one of these has to become negative. All right, so let's go ahead and multiply through. 6 times 12 is 72x. 6 times 4 is 24y. And then 6 times 1940, I am not going to even try and mess with that. So let's do that. 6 times 1940 is 11640. All right, down here, negative 4 times 8 is negative 32x. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24y. And negative 4 times 1660 is negative 6640. All right, now we're ready to add these up. 72 minus 32 is 40x. 24 minus 24 cancels out. And 11640 minus 6640 is exactly 50. X is being multiplied by 40, so we divide by 40. And we divide that out. 50 divided by 40 is $1.25, 1.25, but we say $1.25 because remember X represents the cost of the cheeseburgers. So you would write there that the cheeseburgers cost $1.25. Now again, you might say, what about the cost of the chili bowls? We could easily determine that by plugging this, just like we do with all the other problems. But on this one, for whatever reason, they just want to know the cost of the cheeseburgers, which is $1.25. All right, so let's move on now to page 50. And we've got another word problem involving sports, specifically basketball, and specifically Kobe Bryant's famous 81-point night. Against, I believe that was against the Toronto Raptors, if I remember right. Anyways, number 3, top of page 50. Kobe Bryant holds the second record for the highest points ever scored in one game. Of course, Wilt Chamberlain's number 1. He had 100 points in one game one time. His record is made up of 2-point shots and 3-point shots. Kobe's total points scored was 81 points with 36 shots made. How many 2-point shots did he make? So here, just like where they only wanted to know the cost of the cheeseburger, we're only asked how many 2-point shots that he made. So, all right, so our first equation is made up of 2-point shots. So we'll let X be the 2-point shots and Y be the 3-point shots. So each 2-point shot, obviously 2 points. Each 3-point shot, obviously 3 points. And the total points was 81. We can also get an equation based on just the number of shots that he took. We're told that he took 36 shots. So the number of 2-point shots plus the number of 3-point shots equals 36. So this is just based on the number of shots that he took. So that's why it's just X plus Y, and the total shots was 36. So remind ourselves that X is the 2-point shots, and then Y is the 3-point shots. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this here. Now, again, we're only asked to find the number of 2-pointers, so we are going to eliminate the Y's here. So remember the coefficient of Y in the second equation is 1, so we're going to multiply the first equation by the coefficient of Y in the second equation by the coefficient of Y in the first. They're both positive, so one's got to become negative. All right, so multiplying through by positive 1 doesn't change anything, so we just have 2x plus 3y equals 81. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. And negative 3 times 36 is negative 108. 2 minus 3 is negative 1x. The y's cancel out. 81 minus 108 is negative 27. Now don't worry about getting a negative answer there because x is being multiplied by -1. So we divide by -1 and we find out that x is 27. X is the number of 2-point shots that he took. So how many 2-point shots did he take? Just 20, or well, I should say just, that's several, but he took 27 shots. 27 2-point shots, I should say. If we wanted to know the number of 3-point shots, we could plug in and solve, but they don't ask us to, so we're not going to bother with that. All right, moving on to the last problem here. And that is on the same page, page 50, number 4. Number 4 says you need 4 liters of a 15% solution, which is a mixture of water and salt. And mixture X is a 20% saline solution. Mixture Y is a 10% saline solution. How many liters of mixture X and how many liters of mixture Y do you need to make a 15% saline solution? All right, so first of all, we have an equation based just on the number of liters. So the number of liters of X plus the number of liters of Y is 4, because we're told we're going to have 4 liters total. Then we have an equation based on the percentages. 0.20x, the X solution is 20% saline, and the Y solution is 15% saline. And then we are told that in the mix, the Y solution is 10% saline. Sorry about that. But in the mix, it's a 15% saline solution. And so how much, remember, this is based on the amount of saline or salt. So 15% of those 4 liters is salt. So we multiply 0.15 times 4, and we get 0.6. So 0.15 times 4, we're not going to write the whole thing again, it's just 0.6. All right. So now we got decimals here, but not a big deal. We're going to solve for both things, right? How much mixture X and mixture Y. All right, so let's see. Let's eliminate the X's. So we're going to multiply the first equation by the coefficient of X in the second equation by the coefficient of X in the first. They're both positive, so we make one of them negative. So we got 0.20x plus 0.20y equals 0.20 times 4, 20% of 4, which would be 0.8. Right? Yes, 0.8. And then down here, multiplying by -1, we get negative 0.20x, negative 0.10y, and negative 0.6. Adding them up, those cancel out. 0.20 minus 0.10 is 0.10. 0.8 minus 0.6 is 0.2. Dividing both sides by 0.10, we get 2. So y is 2. So we have two liters of the 20% or the 10% solution. Let's put that up here. So X is the 20%, Y is the 10%. So we know we need 2 liters of the Y, the 10% solution. To solve for X, let's go ahead and use the first equation. So we've got X plus Y. We know Y is 2, is 4. We just subtract 2 to both sides. And it turns out that we also need 2 liters of the 20% solution. So we need 2 liters of the 20% and 2 liters of the 10%. So there we go. That is that. And that is the end of this lesson. The homework and lesson checkpoint is on pages 51 and 52. So good luck with that. Do your best on that one, and we will see you in the next lesson, which is 12.2, which is graphing systems of linear inequalities. All right, so good luck with that. And again, we'll see you in the next lesson.